Good evening, folks, and welcome to another episode of Chasing Spirits Paranormal. I am your host, Henry, along with Jeff, Paige, and Justin, the king of the tinfoil hats.
Oh, I forgot to make tinfoil hats this week. Oh, crap. Okay, anyway.
We'll do it next time.
Yeah, we have plenty of time.
Henry is a head.
I am a ghost.
The bodiless Henry.
The headless Henry.
The headless
No,
Henry.
bodiless. But you have a head,
No,
right?
you do have a head.
So it's bodiless.
Bodiless Henry.
Okay. Paige, what is our cocktail for tonight?
We're doing a frozen lemonade that I happen to spike with vodka tonight.
And it is delicious.
Very summery.
Yep. Still can't see it. It's like a ghost.
It's okay, good. We're good.
Yeah.
You're not holding anything. What are you not
I mean,
holding?
vodka goes in almost anything.
See, isn't it good? Doesn't it look good?
It looks delicious.
There's my glass.
Oh,
There you go.
can see it, and then it disappears.
Well,
It's
tonight
the Matrix.
we're going to let Justin go wild.
Oh, boy.
Oh no,
Well,
let's go.
He started telling me a couple of months ago about a volcano that spurts eggs. And I'm going to give it to you.
Tell me about these eggs in the volcano.
So the eggs that are coming out of the volcano.
They're devil
Wait a minute
eggs?
now. Wait a minute. What's the location?
So we were looking for that earlier, and then we got sidetracked. I'm not sure. We can look it up in the article.
So are they deviled eggs?
Where is it located? No, these are large eggs. These are eggs that are a minimum of 20 inches. They said a foot and a half. Where's the location?
There's gonna be a big critter inside that thing.
No, that's a big egg.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, they didn't know what it was.
I
And
wonder what it tastes like.
I don't know.
probably like ostrich egg. I'm sure, a great big one.
Tastes like chicken.
Vancouver Island revealed thousands of giant eggs belonging to the elusive Pacific white skate. The volcanic warmth acts as a natural incubator, accelerating the 4-year gestation period on these giant eggs.
4 years.
Yeah, before they said that they didn't know what they were, and everybody was hypothesizing what would come out of a volcano. I mean, like they said, sounds kind of like a giant incubator to me. It doesn't have lava in it like right now, but like below the surface, it's still cooking, so it's heating the water up, and I mean,
Keeping the eggs nice and warm.
yeah.
At the right temperature because they can't hatch without any kind of heat.
They were using the D word.
Dragon?
Dragon?
That's what they said that they thought they were. Now they are this apparent giant Pacific white skate, which apparently these things only come up at the end of times. There's been several of them that they found. But again, why haven't they hatched? How long did they take to hatch?
Now, a skate's about the same thing as a
It's that big silver thing
yeah.
that they've been finding on the beaches around the world.
Yeah.
And they're saying that that's the end of times fish.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Let's see here.
Skate fish.
Skate fish.
That's what it looks like.
It's a flat thing, right?
Look at this. It's like a stingray.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Cartilaginous fish with diamond-shaped bodies.
Never mind.
large wing
I'm
white
thinking of something
fins.
else.
It's like a stingray.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah. That's what I kind of thought.
What's it called?
What, the skate?
This thing. Oarfish. That's what it's called. That's the end of time fish.
Oarfish?
An oar. An oarfish.
O-A-R?
Yes.
The prettiest looking thing.
I'd say kind of looks like a big booger.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it does. Why do they consider it the end of time fish?
Because apparently it only shows up around the time of people's civilizations ending. That was what it's called.
But that thing could not. I don't see that thing laying a 20-inch egg.
I mean that
I mean, it's large, but I don't see it doing 20 inches.
that looks like 15 feet. That's a pretty long ass fish.
You got to come out at a certain size
I mean, you're thinking that
I wish there was
20
like
inches
somebody.
would be like something like
Okay,
that?
they can get 56 feet. Okay.
There you go.
I wish they had like a person standing next to it so could get a better idea of how long it is.
I can see it doing maybe a 20-inch egg. Oh, that makes some
Well, it's
nasty
a
ass
little bit,
caviar.
little bit bigger than a
Expensive. Expensive
a
ass
little bit longer
caviar.
than the half of a football field.
I wonder if those fish taste like.
That's long.
56 feet half a football field? Are you sure?
I'm thinking of yards.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait a minute. Jeff,
I'm getting my measurements mixed up.
So, this is what we were talking about earlier too. Okay, so according to Japanese legend, the oarfish will purposely beach themselves to warn of an impending disaster, most commonly an earthquake, a volcanic eruption, or tsunami. They have been spotted in the past ahead of natural disasters, including the 2011 Fukushima quake. In August 2024, an oarfish was found in La Jala Cove.
Yeah, I was
we were
wondering
talking
about
earlier
that.
about that potential tsunami off the California coast.
We were also talking about that because of all of the volcanoes that are erupting off of the West Coast. You know, I didn't know anything about any underwater volcanoes. I heard about Yellowstone and how that's a super volcano and how if that exploded that could basically wipe out humanity.
Right.
But it apparently erupted too.
It did.
Yeah.
And we know nothing about it.
There's very little about it on the internet. You have to really search hard. But yes, there was the volcano off the coast of California, and they were saying, "Don't worry about a tsunami. Everything's going to be okay." And now they're talking about 1,000-foot tsunami that could come off this volcano.
That's a big
Every
one.
time a volcano erupts in the ocean, I'm going to think tsunami.
Gotta be.
I mean, that's
Because, I mean, earthquakes start tsunamis, so...
right, earthquake, volcano, anything that just
Yeah.
makes a big explosion or shaking like that, that's going to happen. I think tsunami.
Tectonic plates inside of the volcano shifting will also cause an earthquake.
Yeah.
You got to think that the tectonic plates are like this, and then the lava pushes up in between those, and then it eventually explodes, so that it pushes them apart. So
I
Makes
mean,
sense,
I can see
yeah.
how that it's a domino effect. I can easily see that. So yeah, tsunami. Take out California. Okay. And
1,000-foot tsunami.
So everybody take out California State, Washington State, and Oregon. Maybe.
I'd probably say Oregon, Washington, yeah, and Cali.
Yeah.
You know, we've all been waiting. I'm not trying to be funny and I'm not trying to be ugly, but we've all been kind of waiting for this theory that's been going on since the 80s of this earthquake. It was going to drop California off. You know, don't tease me with a good time, damn it. When's it going to happen?
Man.
I mean, I don't want anything bad to happen to people in California, but I would like to see something float out into the ocean. California be its own island.
And sink.
I didn't say
No,
that would be bad things happening to the people, Henry.
They could form their
Under the sea.
Like the mermaid, but you know, under the sea.
Like,
Yeah.
California, they talk about. I've heard a while back the Californians were thinking about succession. Well, then hello, perfect opportunity.
Knock yourselves out.
Yeah.
Well, the only succession I heard of is that, the more, the parts of California that were more inland, they want to secede because the coastline is basically where all the, where all the trouble is, like San Francisco, San Diego, all these.
Skid Row.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hollywood.
there's always that movement in Texas that's been going on for years about Texas. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, guys. Yeah,
They got enough guns; they can handle it.
they got a big enough economy. I'm like, go ahead. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to Texas.
We'll enjoy that heat. It's good for the pores.
Never been to Texas. One of the only places I haven't been.
Yeah.
Texas is nice, but it's no great shakes.
I'd rather
Great
not.
shakes.
I mean,
Well, it's just gotten so congested now.
oh God, Houston area and probably Dallas, Fort Worth. Oh.
So apparently the power is off there.
Yeah. And big storms coming through.
That's a good question for me because they got all them solar fans, right? That are spinning
Well, the
to
wind,
generate the power.
they must have got taken out in the storm.
I mean, hell.
They couldn't handle the cold weather.
Well, I mean, they froze, remember?
They did.
And they were supposed to be saving money, but instead they had to fly a helicopter to spray jet fuel on that shit and light it on fire. Now, how expensive is it to fly a helicopter? Pretty damn expensive per hour, I'm sure. How expensive is jet fuel? Probably not very cheap either. And they had to light that shit on fire in order for that thing to start back up.
Well, that's something I haven't heard about.
No, either have I.
You didn't hear about all them people that died in Texas the year before
Well,
last
no.
because of the winter?
No, I've heard about that, but I didn't hear about
They had
them spreading gas on the
hell
rotor
yeah.
blades.
You got to use jet fuel.
To thaw it out.
Well, no, you spray it with jet fuel. You light the jet fuel on fire. The jet fuel heats it up and will defrost it.
Right.
But we're supposed to be having that green energy when again you just flew a helicopter and lit jet fuel on fire.
Right. That's green.
Oh hell yeah! Save the environment, baby. Save the environment.
But you think that if they did something like that, that the intense heat would warp the rotors on
The blades and
yeah.
stuff.
So there's something about them blades that you can't destroy them. They actually physically take them off, bury them in the desert somewhere.
Yeah, I saw that. But there was like a huge
Thousands. Thousands.
So that's real green, right?
Yeah, real green.
Shit, yeah. Put it in the dirt. Nobody can see it.
These
It doesn't biodegrade. Hey.
Well, it's the same thing with these electric cars. Hey, we got an electric pump at the gas station. That shit looks pretty, but it's powered by a diesel generator in the ground. So all we did was, everybody can see it. It's in the air. Oh no, it's in the air. Well, oh shit, it's in the groundwater, and we drink that. Nobody thought about that.
And diesel is a lot less. Well, is a lot more.
A lot less refined than gas is, so it's actually worse.
That's why it stinks.
Yeah, and just so you know, people, you might think that your car is going to get like 400 miles on a charge. It's going to get like 330, and that's with one person in the vehicle. They don't tell you that every time you add a person, it drops significantly. So you might as well say you're going to lose 50 to 60 miles per additional person you put in the car.
So you got a family of 4.
You're fucked.
You might get 100 miles per charge.
Yeah.
And that's if you aren't running the heat and you're not running the AC. So now, what is the alternatives here? You can go and you can get the fast charge, which is 45 minutes to an hour. I think it costs money now. Like, I thought the energy thing was supposed to be free. Not so free anymore.
And the batteries to replace those things, to replace the batteries, or
They're hella expensive.
yes,
Sold cars. Now when you
and they're not green either.
when you run
No,
out,
they're not.
when you run out of charge, a big diesel rollback shows up with the generator on there to charge your car for the next 2 to 3 hours.
So you're wasting 2-3 hours. God. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like I can go to the pump and fill up my car in 5 minutes, and I'm on my way.
Yes, you are.
But you're killing the environment.
And I've seen those some of the people that have like generators, separate from the house or anything in case their car dies. And the generators are not even that big. They're just like, it almost seems like they're about the size of a big
A small cooler.
So
small
let me get this
cooler
straight.
or luggage.
Even if you're home with your car, you just can't plug it in your garage.
You can, but here's the thing. If you own one of these cars, you should probably own a business. That way you can write the electricity off versus having it at your home, charging your own car, and you're not being able to get a deduction off of that. Unless you have an LLC that's filed out of your home. Whatever.
And I think you got to wait for the charge to go all the way down to 0.
Just like a ball.
Damn it. Yes.
Teasing at her age.
Just think about it. It's kind of like your cell phone. You don't want to always leave it on the charger because then
Right.
it becomes dependent upon life support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think if you even charge it on the road with a little portable charger, that's going to be kind of a.
Yeah.
Well, you got.
Okay, Henry's up.
Hey!
I know that.
He brought another drink.
You'd have to hope that the fuel inside that charger doesn't spill all over your vehicle too.
It's like the old acid batteries, the deep terminals that you had to fill with distilled water or put distilled water in, like for your golf cart, for your boat, stuff like that.
Yeah, we had to do that in the Army for the Jeeps.
Oh, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all remember putting transmission fluid in the diesel fuel to thin it every couple of times so that way everything was lubricated properly?
Yeah.
You talk to people about trying to put transmission fluid in their diesels now, they're like, what are you talking about? I ain't trying to blow my shit up.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, you don't add 5 gallons of transmission fluid. You add a quart of transmission fluid to a whole 35 gallon tank. Every 5 or 6 fill-ups. I wouldn't say it was anything major. It's kind of like when you get an oil change, you run the fuel additive through there. Maybe when you get the oil changed, you run your fuel additive.
Yeah.
Transmission fluid.
But so anyway, these eggs now. Has anyone held one yet? Observed one yet?
They're all on the bottom of the ocean. They supposedly, from what we know, they have not been touched.
So who found these things?
Actually, NASA found these things first. And so what we didn't talk about was that NASA was not originally looking in space for things. They were searching and mapping the bottom of the ocean. And sometime in the late 30s, they decided, we're not messing with the bottom of the ocean. We're not messing with the ocean. We're not going back in the water. We're going to space.
So did they get scared of something in the ocean, or they just decided to go to space?
Again, there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of theories on space being in the ocean.
Yeah, like the unidentified submersible objects.
There's a lot of that, but think about the last astronaut that died. He drowned. They found him in the ocean. And it wasn't because he came down out of orbit and climbed out of, you know what I'm saying? Like, he drowned. How the hell did he drown? He should have suffocated, but damn sure not drowned.
Well, he wasn't the real true last astronaut because Katy Perry.
Oh, I said the last one to die.
Oh, okay.
We might want to see Katy Perry on up out of here, but again, it's kind of like California. Not really.
Yeah, if you fly so many 100 feet above the earth, then you're an astronaut, even though you're just sitting on a chair, just joking around with your girlfriends.
We're doing flips, and one that goes up, and then.
Oh, wait a minute. So Katy Perry's an astronaut now?
Oh yeah.
No, ma'am, I have not.
Oh, Henry.
Perry and what's Oprah Winfrey's girlfriend?
It's like 3 of them supposedly went up in space.
I can't remember.
She's an astronaut.
Henry, you need to start paying attention to the pop culture a bit more. The news, maybe.
Well,
what was the other one now? Gail was the Oprah Winfrey girlfriend. I can't remember who the other one was. She must have been really not noticed. Oh, it was Bezos's girlfriend or fiance.
What you mean? The one that looks like
a plastic doll?
no.
Oh, she just had a lot of plastic.
No, she doesn't look like a plastic doll to me. She looks like what was the main gremlin?
Oh.
No, not Gizmo.
The
The bad guy. I can't remember what his name was. Looks like him because in the last one where there was the one with the boobs. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, her plastic surgery didn't come out too well.
But no one's gonna tell her that.
Bullshit.
Because she got too many yes people surrounding her.
Oh yeah, looks awesome, girl.
Beautiful.
Looks like your face could stop a fucking bullet.
The actor said, "Wait, she should just stop."
Yeah. Well, you knew a girl, or who was it? That one person?
Yeah, I used to work with. She kind of went too far.
Yeah, and she'd go overseas to get her stuff done.
Well, that's because they say it's half the price.
Yeah.
Apparently you can go to Mexico and get some excellent care. You can go to Canada and get excellent care, and you can go overseas and it's a fraction of the price.
Yeah, I don't think she got excellent care last. last.
What happened?
I would say infection.
Ugh.
It didn't. It started slipping. She had
Like-
cheek implants, and it just did not. And who knows what he actually put in there?
Where'd she go?
She went to India.
I know somebody that got some ass implants that did not go so well after 5 years. Like they decided that they didn't. The ass didn't want it no more.
The BBL, Brazilian butt lift.
I'm sure.
The Brazilian butt lift.
Those are more trouble than they're worth. I understand. They are,
Well,
especially if you get them too big. Hard to wipe.
ugh.
You need like 17 pieces of paper. You might as well get you a fire hose and tie that shit to the toilet.
Today, it just,
Oh no bidet. Bidet shoots out a little bit of water like this. But what you talking? You needed a water hose,
it's a lot of pressure.
a direct shot.
That's gnarly. What?
Yeah,
Bo-
girl.
bo-
I've seen TikToks. These girls, these ladies who had them, and their boyfriends ended up breaking up with them because they said that the smell.
Ugh. Ugh.
People, how the hell did we wind up on Brazilian butt lifts?
I'm sorry. I think didn't Nikki tell you that she wanted one?
Well, okay.
And Ryan too.
Oh, Ryan would love that.
Yeah.
How did I just the smell? What would the smell be like? Would just be just rotten,
Flesh.
rotten ass?
Rotten ass flesh.
Oh Jesus!
Not like that clean.
Yeah, no matter they get infected.
Can't get the toilet paper out of that thing.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Anyway, dragon eggs. Tell me more.
I
Tell me,
believe
tell
it.
me more. Tell me more. Does he have a car?
Wait, did anyone take any pictures of these things?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, there is pictures.
They look like the ones from Game of Thrones.
Well, we were talking about that outside.
What, the eggs?
Yes, and then he was telling me like 18 inches to 2 feet per egg.
That's
Yep.
a big egg.
And, you know, what's...
That is some weird looking shit, man.
Dang.
Let me see. That looks very surreal.
We'll have to post that on our Facebook page because
That looks
it's
very.
definitely not going to show up on.
That looks
No.
very otherworldly.
Yeah. It almost looks like aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was...
I'm not saying it's aliens.
So we're not saying it's alien.
And we're not saying it's dragons, but it could be aliens.
Well, it ain't natural, that's for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, as far as the natural formation.
I mean, you got so here's what you were asking. Has anybody touched one of these things? And then they like were show up. Hold on. 2.6 million golden eggs found at the base of a volcano.
2.6 million.
So that's what the caption is there. A minute, 9 seconds, 6 days ago.
6 days ago.
Golden eggs.
Somebody should go down there and pick them up.
You'd think somebody would buy now.
20-inch gold egg? Shit. They got 20-inch wheels that ain't gold that motherfuckers are dying for.
Because, I mean, somebody would, if they brought one back home or got it out of the water and brought it back to shore, they would probably make a killing.
$3,200 an ounce, I think, was what the last price of gold was.
Mm.
And it's a 20-inch egg.
How many pounds?
But now you just wonder, though, are they colored gold or are they actually gold? Because no one's really picked one up to take it back to examine it.
Well, maybe
You have to have the shell. You need to have the
So
shell.
there's really weird laws when it comes to taking stuff off the ocean floor. We had talked about Oak Island last time and about the people that said that they had found the Confederate gold in one of the lakes in Michigan. They were able to swim down to look.
Right.
They were able to dust the objects off,
Mm-hmm.
but they were not allowed to pull them out of the sand.
Oh, man.
You had to have a special kind of permit, which means the government had to be notified. That meant that if the
Couldn't you
government...
take one little piece, one little small piece,
Hey.
and take it out.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I mean, we will figure it out. Find me a piece, and maybe we'll come back and, the government, if they find out about it, they gonna want it all because technically it's theirs. Well, why didn't y'all find it?
Because they use us. Because they use us to fund for them. Then they take credit for it.
Well, that's like the giants. The giant skeletons is that
the Nephilim.
Yeah, they find these skeletons, and then the government comes along and says, "Oh yeah, we're going to take these and we're going to put them into the Smithsonian, and that's the last year I ever heard of them." So there's probably stuff down in the vaults of the Smithsonian, just like the Vatican.
That we don't. That
100%.
Just buried back in there and just left alone.
They will never let us in there.
I don't think they're going to have to let us in there. I think eventually. Did you see, so back to the paranormal stuff.
Uh-huh.
Did anybody watch the whole thing where the Pope opened that gate for St. Peter's Basilica?
Yeah, I remember seeing something about that. Then didn't see the gate opening.
So there was a bunch of wild things that went on with that.
Yeah.
So this was the first time the doors had been open for 25 years. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there were already 2 men in the room. How the hell did they get there? They've been standing there for 25 years with no food and water?
Were they alive?
Yes. There were 2 bishops wearing black standing there when the doors opened. Now, when they brought the Pope up first, he was saying all of the things. You could tell on his face he was visibly concerned. Maybe worried. Maybe even scared.
I'd be scared if all of a sudden there's these 2 dudes down there that have been living in there for years.
You're opening a portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we opening a portal to?
Who knows?
It hadn't been opened in 25 years. Okay. When you look at the bishops that are coming in behind the Pope, their faces are elongated. Their eyes are huge. They look like demonic entities or aliens. You can look at them. It's all slowed down on all of the film and footage that they show you about any kind of conspiracy theory about what went on. It's awfully funny that within weeks after opening the portal, the Pope was dead too. They said that at the hospital where he was at, that he would scream all night long about demons and they had to constantly keep him sedated and that he was too far gone. Well, what if he really saw some stuff in there that, they obviously not going to show us on TV. Why would we need to know any of that?
We're on a need-to-know basis, and
we don't need to know. You want to know why? Because we need to keep going to work and paying fucking taxes. Who are we paying taxes to?
They are them.
Well, I think the Vatican got made.
On the backs of the Knights Templar. Technically, the Vatican is the Kingdom of Spain. So you think about it. Spain hunted down all the Templars and killed them because they had more wealth.
It was France.
It was Spain. King of Spain.
I thought France or some. And then the Friday the 13th, the King of France owed the Templars a bunch of money, didn't want to pay it back.
And he got with the King of Spain, and they colluded against them. And they started wiping them out because they didn't want them to get too powerful to where they'd be able to overthrow those countries. So they basically started killing all of these people. Now, it's really kind of hard to
follow the money.
Again, so eventually, you got Spain, Christopher Columbus, all those things. Where was all the money at? There was the money, it was in Spain. And then eventually it became the Vatican. And then you have Britain, who is the largest banking system in the world. And then you have us, which is the largest military power. So the 3 main heads that run everything. The Vatican, Britain, and America.
Yeah, the Vatican is like its own little city within Rome because they have their own bank.
They are a separate entity. They're like Washington D.C.
They're their own country.
Yes. If you really wanted to be funny, we could talk about how Disney is actually owned by the Brits, and they can kind of do what they want. Disney World down in Florida, the land, they are sovereign.
Yeah, I remember that one time the governor down there, DeSantis, he was going to take away that privilege and right, and he campaigned on it, really hard, but nothing ever happened.
Well, that's because they told them that they don't answer to the U.S.
Yeah,
under the U.S. authority.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, it's just some swampland. It's just some swampland. We put some dirt on.
Mm-hmm. Right. But then again, I mean, the reason why Washington, D.C. is called the swamp is because it was built on a swamp, too.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
With no dragon eggs.
How do we know this?
Because they would have found them on Oak Island.
All right.
A television series that never ends and never finds anything.
It's 7 years strong. We ain't seen them find nothing but some coins and some buttons and a sword.
Well, they did find a cross.
Okay.
All right. So we got 7 artifacts that we found in 7 years, 1 a year, and we're digging like hell.
Heck, they found more at the Skywalker Ranch.
Skinwalker.
Yeah, no.
Now that starts up in June.
The series?
The season starts up again, I think, in June. I've heard they found some things. I'm like, oh, well, tell us, please.
Well, they did find some stuff.
They have recorded anomalies, and that's what they like to call them.
Yeah.
Right above the mesa, around 5,000 square feet, there's a vortex.
Mm-hmm. And the triangle area.
Apparently, there's a 400. How long did they say it was? It was 410-mile long spaceship that they dug under the mesa, and they kept hitting it instead of
410 miles.
That's what they said.
That sounds unreal.
A spaceship.
Yeah, but
in the mesa.
The mesa is not 410 miles in area.
410 feet.
Okay.
No, I was like, wait a minute. They were digging. I was trying to think of what they were digging under the ground, and they were digging miles under the ground. But apparently, it was 410 feet.
That makes more sense because 410 miles. That's
a big ship.
Exactly. That's from here.
That's the U.S. times 3.
Yeah.
Well, from my house, from here to Long Island is about 3 something.
Right. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's a big ass ship. So feet. Yeah, that sounds more reasonable.
That's like going from Montauk Point all the way to my house.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Or how long does it take to get to Louisiana by car?
Oh, that's over a day.
Depends on if you stop. I mean, are you sleeping in the car?
That's like a good 18 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to make that trip.
I think even truckers probably take a break in between then.
You got 2 people. You got 2 people that ride, like when they're really long like that. You got 2 people that ride, and one's generally an apprentice that's learning. And sometimes they just sit and watch, and then other times they move along, and then they sit and then they drive, and then you rotate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I've driven to Texas from North Carolina. That's 20-something hours.
Driven from Virginia down to Florida, Florida up to Virginia.
I've done that.
That whole 10.5-hour trip.
20-something hours nonstop.
So
We flew to England. That was really rough. That was like 12 hours. That sucked.
You can get it for 7. An hour flight.
Where was that to?
England.
Say 6 hours to California, 5 hours and 30 minutes to Vegas.
I love Vegas.
So if I fly from here to England, it's like 6 to 7 hour trip.
We sent Ryan over to England a couple of years ago.
It's cold.
Rainy. Today.
The land of the pale people.
Fit right in. I
I,
get a pill.
I lived in Tacoma, where it rains all the time in the Seattle area, and it's like, it's no matter. It's such a high suicide rate.
Depression's probably pretty high.
Uh-huh.
They need some what are those? Vitamin D mirrors.
Vitamin D. Tongan, you don't need that,
That's
baby
why the
girl.
people aren't right over there in Seattle or Oregon.
Get under sunshine.
Yeah, makes them crazy.
Anytime you say fuck the police, climb a building, and then fall off and break something and damn near die, and then everybody's screaming for the police and an ambulance,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You said you didn't want my help, so I can't help you.
Right. Yeah, they're having problems now because I think it's Portland or Seattle, one of the two. They're
It's been
Yeah,
years.
they're understaffed in the police department and everything, and they're like, so what are you going to do?
Well,
Huh?
you can't be the police. You can't shoot nobody. You can't whoop nobody's ass. You forget handcuffing somebody because just like in California, it's okay to steal, but it's not okay to steal.
So what is it?
Well,
I think it's
we're not gonna call the cops if you steal. Well, everybody's running out of California as fast as they can. Ain't no Walmart's opening up anywhere in California.
Everything's behind lock and key. I mean, it's like,
Well, in Tacoma, Washington, I remember a long time back that there's this one part of Tacoma that was all Bloods and Crips and everything. So, and there was a because we had the Rangers, that we had a Ranger battalion, and I guess one or two Rangers were down in the city someplace, and they got beat up pretty bad. So the Rangers took it upon themselves to take arms and just go over there and just take care of business. Because the thing is that's not known is that the cops up there, I mean, they know that they're outnumbered and outgunned. So I mean, they just say, if they're going to kill themselves, they're going to kill themselves because we can't do anything.
So, not speaking bad at all on our military, especially our elite special forces. Not at all. But at some point in time, you've got a gang of people that think that they're badass.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a genuine gang of people that are fucking badass. And that was what they were built to do.
Yeah.
And you started the problem with the wrong gang. Back in the day, the police used to be the gang. Now you have certain countries like England, due to the large importation of Muslim folks.
now they're leaving.
Well, the Hells Angels started regulating them, not the police there. You wonder why.
Well, I hear that.
I mean, again, we call them gangs, but I mean, anybody could be considered a gang. I mean, technically, a fraternity, us.
Or the mafia.
Yeah, but you've heard about the mafia, you've heard about like the biker gangs, the stuff like that, but you don't really hear about like you fucked with the wrong people and found out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard.
And it's easily searchable on Google too. That whole thing.
I heard the Muslims, and they're starting to leave the UK because it's no longer friendly to Islam. I'm like, bye.
Well, the mayor of London is
Islam.
Muslim.
Do you see that on the screen right next to my head?
Yep.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It's probably you coming forward a little bit.
No.
What's your thoughts?
You got a cloud about to pop out and be like, holy shit.
Yeah. They're all dark.
Are you sure you're not toting those demonic spirits with you still?
The picture behind you.
Oh, wow.
You know what that is, Henry?
Probably the rain.
Yeah, turn around.
Cow!
I think
It
it
looks
is
so weird.
Whoa, man.
How much did you check tonight?
Well, I got a theory, and this is
I want to hear the theory. I want to hear Henry's theory.
This is a pop question.
Oh, God, what?
I do edibles every night.
We know.
I have to have a tolerance or a buildup of THC in my system.
Yeah.
When I smoke, does it actually intensify what is already existing in my system?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that if you have a buildup of a tolerance, it's based upon what you do. If you are doing one version or the other, that will be where your tolerance is. So if you have it built up in your system, like from eating it, technically if you were to eat it, technically it's already in your blood. Whereas, I guess, smoking it, it goes directly into your lungs, then into your blood.
Right. Just bypass.
Well,
You absorb it differently.
I did partake tonight.
No, that's not unusual.
I know. And I realized one thing. I took a couple of hits. I'm a very cheap date.
No, you're not. I've seen you eat.
Okay, yes, that too, but weed-wise.
Is that the fridge?
Yeah, my relatives aren't watching this program anyway, so I have nothing. Well, anyway, I was really fascinated. I think they're dragons.
I mean, it could be alien eggs.
Oh man, if they're alien eggs.
What about the face suckers?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A field of them. Think about it. That's the way they
I
start
mean,
out.
this is like they're raising an army that's going to take over.
Who is they?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And the one thing is, they're going to be really hard to destroy.
What if there's another theory out there
More theories. I love it.
that every civilization hits a tipping point
Oh, yeah, we've had ours.
and there's no turning back? And that there are creatures that we refer to as legends or whatever you want to call them. But they're here to depopulate the planet. There's certain creatures that were meant to drink blood and drain people and that are like zombies. These stories had to come from somewhere. You know? What is your thinking on that?
I think dragons were dinosaurs. Could be dinosaurs.
I'm thinking that the only type of dinosaur that was ever mentioned wasn't mentioned until the 40s, and the original Bibles talked about dragons.
Dragons and what's that big ass monster at the bottom of the sea?
The kraken.
Not the Kraken.
That's okay.
No, I agree with you. It has got to be because Justin actually explained it to me. He goes, the molten lava that's underneath the surface of this volcano is heating the water, and that's fire.
Right.
What does a dragon live on? Fire. What does it breathe? Fire.
Dragons eat.
They no wait.
Carnivores.
Hold on. He missed one step. What do reptiles require in order to live?
Heat.
What do the dragons breathe?
Heat.
Fire. Again, all these things are kind of common, and they would definitely need each other to exist.
My dragon, when she was alive, rest her, God bless her soul, she ate. She was a omnivore.
Girl.
Yeah, she was a very omnivorous. She liked what?
Well, maybe that's why they're at the bottom of the ocean. They're down there eating up all that kelp and stuff.
Plankton.
No, well,
Lots of stuff down there.
I hate to say that we're at the tail end of our own civilization.
It's looking like it.
But they're saying that there's all kinds of vampires and things that are out there that we don't know about, that we don't understand, and that they're ancient biblical creatures that will come out and they will basically wipe out humanity.
Well, if we're going to do it, let's do it now.
Well, that'd be no fun now, man. Shoot, it's not time.
I mean, I'm tired of waiting.
And then you got the portals that are supposed to have all these really monstrous kind of demon-like creatures, and they think that the Hadron,
Hadrian.
The Hadron Collider. CERN.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to do some shit.
So apparently, there's multiple theories on this. that when they first fired this bad boy up in 2020, that they ended the world, or that they merged two worlds. Talking about the multiverses, that there's different universes with you, and who you are now is not who you are. If you're a good person here, you're a bad person there. If you're a poor person here, you're a rich person there. All of these wild theories. But apparently, when you smash an atom, it's the same thing as what created the Earth. So I don't know
Big
about
Bang Theory?
I don't know about y'all, but why are we playing around with something that created the world? If smashing an atom could create a world or make another world or open a portal or...
It's called science.
Oh, it's called Pacific Rim. Did you ever see that movie?
I remember hearing about her. I think
The volcano that the guys, that those gaijin were coming out of?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what that
fiction
was.
follows truth, or truth follows fiction.
It's a little bit of both.
Wow.
Somebody had to come up with a story from somewhere.
Making you think, Henry.
Oh yeah.
I'll warn your wife.
Homework.
Well, a lot of these theories are just basically, the Bible mentioned it first.
Supposedly, the Bible is one of the original scientific artifacts. They run everything from the Bible, and compare it to things that happen now. So, number one, if it's such a hoax and it's not real, why do we keep using it as a basis of time?
I use the Bible as a history.
Again, you obviously believe that it has some basis of realism.
There's some there. I just use it more of a.
Well, it's been called the big book of the supernatural.
It's in there.
Because everything and a lot of the stories in the Bible are so supernatural that we can't even
the Bible
wrap our minds around.
The Bible was written by 25 different people over a 1,500-year time span. And they say that the reason why that is the living word is because it is told from the same perspective, the same point of view, over that many people, over that long of a time.
That's interesting.
I did not know that.
Oh, there are multiple different authors inside of the Bible.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'm aware.
And they weren't all alive at the same time. And they were all disciples along the way.
And there are also other books that have been found that aren't part of the canon.
So you have
Enoch.
well, Enoch is one of the major ones, but the agnostics were the ones that came up with a lot of that. That was, another offshoot of Christianity. There's another one. I can't think of what their names
Mary
are.
Magdalene has a book. I think Thomas has one. There's
The Book of Thomas.
There's several out there that aren't
I thought
part
the
of
Book
canon.
of Thomas was Mormon. I thought that was Thomas Smith went out to the woods to commit suicide, found the looking glasses, and eventually found like the scrolls or the.
I thought it was Joseph Smith found the scrolls.
Joseph Smith. There you go, with the looking glasses.
That's something else.
And
Mormon.
Mormonism started in Peekskill, New York.
My family founded one of the first Mormon churches in Virginia, and we aren't Mormon.
You well, have a Mormon 2 houses down.
Oh, we must get them on here.
Not Darlene, no.
Well, apparently they go when they die. They go to their own planet.
Yep, it's a star. My grandpa's people told him that we would never be with them on their planet.
Interesting.
He's like, okay.
No bad. That's how y'all want to get down. I'm not mad at you.
People.
Well, that's our
Dragons.
Dragon Egg story going from here to there and everywhere once again.
And we talked about Katy Perry
being an astronaut.
Yeah, she was an astronaut. She made, yeah. We won't talk about that right now. That's something.
Was she involved with the Diddy videos? We don't know.
Probably.
Have a good night. Stay strange.
Stay strange. Jeff?
Stay free.
Stay strange.